Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, Nolan and I will be filming a recap on the 2019 Canadian National Figure Skating Championships that just happened this last weekend. In what city again?
St. John, New Brunswick.
That's right. I love that I have a Canadian on the show with me.
Yes.
So if you all didn't know, we filmed a preview video about a month ago, so I'll link it up here somewhere. We got some things wrong. We were right about some things, but we're going to discuss it all today. And Nolan, I hope it's okay if we start out with the ladies' discipline.
For sure.
So congratulations to Alaine Chartrand winning her second gold medal at the Canadian Championships. And it's actually something that didn't look like it would happen based on the short program results, because Alaine was in fourth place, but also 11 points out of the lead behind Gabrielle Daleman. But she was able to turn it around. You know, I think we said she was very Alaine for the short program, missing the Lutz. But hey, she brought it together and skated a relatively clean, long program. But not only that, she performed it really well. And when she's good on her jumps, you just notice her speed, how fast her spins are, and she actually gave a good performance, which I love.
Yes, and like you said, when her jumps are on, everything else is on. So like she performed that program well, and I think it really helped that she kept that from last season, because that program obviously is really comfortable to her, and it showed here in the free.
I'm also a fan of her short program. Is it
Me too.
Paint It Black?
Yes, that's right. And I really like her first element in her short program is her double axel, and she has a really like creative exit from her double axel. She does like this thing with her hands. It's just really unique. I like it a lot.
Yeah, she does. I wouldn't be me if I didn't acknowledge the fact that she had some under rotations.
Yes.
In her free program. The Lutz was an issue, but you know, it looked close. I think, you know, with some training, it could be called fully rotated in future competitions. I just hope that she gains the confidence back that she needs, because she's going into the 4 continents and World Championships. She was named to both as the leading Canadian lady.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm really just, so happy and ecstatic for her. David Wilson does a great job on her programs. I'm excited that he's on her kind of like team for choreographing the programs, and it sounds like she just recently had some new lifestyle changes. Lifestyle meaning she's going to school full time, and also training in a new location. So it all looks to be working for her right now.
She's also dating Kevin Reynolds.
Yes, I actually got some messages about that. They're like, Justin, do you know? We thought we misheard on the Canadian broadcast. I was like, no, it's true.
Yeah, my mother texted me and she was like, did you know that Alaine and Kevin are dating? I was like, yes, Mom.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so very great for her. And then I'm so excited about the silver medalist. I'm not sure if people on YouTube know, but I've been a big fan of Auora Cotop in Canada for a while. Maybe I can insert an old video clip right here to prove myself. But she was able to deliver. Now, she was actually quite far back after the short program in 6th, so not even really in the running for a podium. So I'm just so happy that she brought it together. If you watch her programs, she's really a joy to watch. She has great speed. She has a lot of the essential skating skills there. She just needs time and experience to build on them. If you watch her programs and you comment on, I don't know, the lack of difficult content in her jumps, you also know that she is recovering from an injury. If you look at her prior programs, she has been known to compete with some more difficult elements. Her combination is the triple toe. Obviously, she could only go for a triple toe, double toe because that irritated her injury. So, but I'm just so happy to see her win a medal.
I was going to say, I heard that she also has the Lutz. Like, it's not like she just doesn't have it. Like, it's like you said, she's just has taken it out for now because of injury. And, of course, Ravi Walia, her new coach, he's taking the time, I think, to tweak some of the lower level jumps first, and then slowly but surely add in the triple and the Lutz once again.
And it's also a new training environment for her, too. So it takes time.
Exactly.
She's also 16, so she's got the time, and she was not named to go to four continents, but both Nolan and I read an article where the director of the high performance camp in Canada said that
Yes.
she will be attending a senior B competition in Germany in a month because she needs to meet the technical minimums for World. So she could be named to the World team.
I think it's a really good possibility that she's named to the world team. If she's as clean as she was here, she won't have any trouble, I don't think, getting the minimums. I, though, am not a fan of when a nation names a junior skater to like senior worlds or four continents or something like that. It just really bothers me because I think they should be given like the full year to kind of mature, and then if they're ready, the next season they can start senior. I just don't really like it when they kind of like mix and match. Like we saw it last year with at the Worlds, Stanislava Konstantinova of Russia. She skated at Junior Worlds and Senior Worlds. So I thought that was just a bit much.
I didn't even know that was possible until last
Yeah,
year.
I know. Me neither.
That is so crazy. I did watch an interview with Auora Cotop after the competition, and she actually says she prefers her senior long program because she
Okay.
gets to add in the choreographic sequence with additional 30 seconds to the long program. So if she did,
Yeah.
because she has been competing as a junior internationally this season. So if she
Mhm.
goes to Worlds, I don't think, the third extra 30 seconds will be an issue for her. So that's good to know.
Yes, exactly.
Do you
And she
want
already has the mature skating skills, like you said. So, I mean, I can't imagine the extra 30 seconds is really going to hurt her in any way. Hmm.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why I didn't talk about Aurora as much last season, it's because I wasn't supportive of the short program music choice for a few reasons.
Yeah. Happens to our favorite skaters all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, winning the bronze medal here was also a nice surprise. Do you want to talk about how Veronik did?
Yes, so she is probably my favorite Canadian skater at the moment. Of course, Gabby is up there and Kaitlyn, but she's taking some time off, and Veronik is back from a couple seasons off, so she deserves the spotlight in my eyes. And so she was really good, especially in the short program. She was basically clean. And like Auora, she used to have a triple triple. So I know it is basically just her ankle injury is what has, kept the technical content down this season. And it's her first season back. So I'm sure like if she can keep it up the next few seasons, we'll see, maybe the flip. I don't want to say lots, but a triple
Yeah.
triple I think we could definitely see from Veronik. And I really, really love both programs. The free is my favorite too, Turning Tables by Adele. I just think it's really beautifully choreographed by her longtime choreographer, David Wilson. And I think that double axel deserves some recognition. I think she has one of the best.
You know what? I saw that double axel,
Yeah.
and I don't want to quote Tracy Wilson, but she did say that it was one of the best in the world.
Hmm.
I
She
didn't
did.
realize it was so good, like so much height.
Huge.
Yes.
Hmm.
And like
Yeah.
her legs weren't even that tight in the air. So go Veronique. That is a skilled element of hers.
Yes. And she was also very, very close to Auora for the silver medal. She popped her last jumping past the double axel in the free, and I looked at the difference, and if she had landed that, I think with the GOE, she would have been in front of Auora. Hmm.
That's right. So she's in the
Yep.
running, but we'll see her again. She'll be at four continents. We'll
Yes.
see what they decide with Worlds. Only Alaine has been named to the World team.
Hmm.
Canada has done this in the past where they've
Yep.
waited after four continents to name the entire World team, which I don't disagree with.
No, I agree with that too. And the high performance director said that they're going to keep an eye on Gabby, I think, as looking at one of those spots. But Tracy also said in an interview with Michael Slipchuk, he is the high performance director. She said that maybe what they'll do, maybe she'll need another couple months, maybe she'll need a season off, or maybe she just needs to get right back out there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll discuss more on Gabby
Yeah.
later. That is one of the disappointing results of this exciting competition.
Yes.
Another one would be Larkyn Austman in fourth
Mhm.
place. And what was so sad about this was that she had a comfortable lead
Mhm.
from the others to be in second place after the short program.
Yeah, and I'm not her biggest fan, just not my favorite type of skating.
Hmm
But I really liked that short program on her. I thought it was really well choreographed. She had some great moments in there, really great body movement. I was really happy with how she did there. And she didn't have a triple-triple, but what she executed was very, very clean in the short.
Yeah, her program was very sultry. I think it suited her
Yeah,
well. She looked
I thought
really
so.
beautiful out there.
Hmm.
And then the
I
short
agree.
program, I don't love any Phantom of the Opera programs, but I think, she held it together well enough for me to capture my attention. She started off the program okay.
Hmm.
Looks like the loop is her money jump, which unfortunately is not the most difficult jump. Pop the flip. And then it seemed like she tensed up for the second half of the program, which is really
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Hmm. It was so hard to see her in the kiss and cry afterwards. She was almost like unconsolable. It was just a complete meltdown, and rightfully so. I mean, she was in second place there. She had it in her hands, and at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough what she put out there in the free. But you mentioned that some people were upset that she was named to the four continent team,
Yes.
but I thought it was deserved. I mean, she was fourth here. Auora didn't have the minimums at this time to go on to the four continents, so I mean, she was then in the top three Canadians. I mean, I think she earned that. Hmm.
Yeah, for everyone watching this, Nolan doesn't have Twitter, and I'm telling him that it's a blessing. People are ruthless, let me tell you. But yeah, I actually saw quite a few people on a thread saying, she didn't qualify for the long program at some of her major
Hmm.
competitions that season. She doesn't deserve to go to four continents. Well, you know what? Each competition needs to be handled differently.
I agree.
Mhm.
And I mean, she doesn't have like less technical content than say Veronique,
Mhm.
like so I'm sure and Veronique with that same technical content managed sixth at Finlandia. So I know that Larkin can do, can go to the free here at four continents, I'm sure.
Yeah, and in her previous competitions where she didn't make the long program, she did not skate a clean short. She
Exactly.
showed that she
Yes.
could here at Canadian Nationals.
Hmm.
So I I
Yeah.
I think she could qualify for the free, especially at four
Yeah.
continents. We don't know if she's going to Worlds, but especially four continents.
No, I would be very surprised if she was named to the world team, just with, Gabby, Aurora, Veronique, all in the mix there.
Hmm.
But I don't see if she can skate clean, she'll be through to the free, I'm sure.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Gabby, wow, that was an emotional roller coaster all weekend long because in the
Yep.
short program, it looked like she was mostly back, looked a little nervous, which is
Hmm.
fine, but she went for the difficult jumps. I didn't know if she was going to leave in the lets. She did rotated but shaky landings, but I thought she was gonna do enough to at least be on the podium. That long program was difficult to watch for quite a few reasons. And I'd say the first is that I actually like the music selection a lot. And I like the music cut. When we saw it at US Classic in Salt Lake
Hmm.
City, I wasn't totally feeling it, and I was feeling it this weekend at Canadian Nationals. So it was hard to see the jumps not go her way in the second half of that program.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with you on
Oh,
the
go for
music
it.
choice
Yes.
music choice for the free. I think the second half of the program, it's Samson and Delilah, correct? Is
Hmm.
yes. I think the second half is very intense. It suits her great, and I like what they tried to do with the first half. Something really new for Gabby, something very, soft and elegant. But I just didn't think it was really her. I
Really?
don't know.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I liked all of it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, and if we look at the scores, Gabby was just a few points, like two, out of the
Yeah.
bronze medal position. And if you look at her
Hmm.
protocols, she did go for some big jumping passes at the
Hmm.
second half of her program. But not only was some of her jumps downgraded, which Elaine, or under rotated, which Elaine has, they were actually downgraded.
Oh
So
wow.
that's a strong cheat, which means you
Hmm.
lose so much base value points. She went for a double axel triple toe. That was gutsy. I haven't seen that combination in a few years. But yeah, then the toe she fell on. Ooh, that was downgraded. I'm not sure if that was meant to be a toe toe.
I know.
So you know what? She was close, but this might be a
Yep.
blessing in disguise. Maybe she needs some more time. But she's
Hmm.
also really brave to go out there and compete. And just wanted to get that out there on video.
Yeah, I don't think she should feel bad about what she put out there whatsoever. She only started skating again after, a multiple month break in December. So, I mean, I don't think a 5th place finish is anything to, it's not the end of the world. And also, I was a little bit annoyed with the placement between Gabby and Larkyn. It was so close. They could have came up with a couple points to put her in 4th, just so that there wouldn't be any arguments, for assignments and whatnot. I don't really understand that.
I will say I think the judges crucified her.
Oh, they
in
did.
The free program. I'm not sure if they were trying to make up for being a little generous in the short, because I was a little shocked by that, 70 score short program. But, it is what it is. I wish her all the best.
Yes.
And then
she got this.
She does. And then, did you see Michelle Long skate?
I saw her short program, which was underwhelming, but I know that she brought it back in the free, and I think she was 6th overall, so good for her. I really like her.
The reason why I asked is because I couldn't find a video of it anywhere. I saw a short little recap by the Canadian broadcast, but
that's what I saw.
The 15 seconds that was showed were really impressive, and I saw people's tweets, so... Michelle, if you're watching this, and I think you are, congratulations, good job. Sorry I wasn't able to catch your long program, but good job. Go her. It sounds like everyone liked her maturity.
Yes, she's always a fan favorite at nationals, and her short program was very easy to find, but like you said, I couldn't find her free anywhere, so that was a little disappointing because she was the leader going into the final group. Also, it just came into my mind, you had mentioned... that Auora was back a bit after the short program. And I was even wondering if she was going to be in that final flight, because where Alicia Pinot, one of the contenders, had withdrew, the final flight was down to 5 skaters. So I was wondering what they were going to do with that, because I don't think, had she skated earlier that day, we would see her on the podium.
That is true. Good point. It's also really unfortunate to hear of Alicia needing to withdraw. I was actually looking forward to see what she could do at nationals.
Me too. And from a video I was watching, the commentator said that she had intended to compete, and then it was like an injury on a practice or something. So she was there.
So really unfortunate. Also, a surprise to us is Alison Schumacher. I thought she would place a lot higher than she did here.
Yeah, she was 7th here, correct? Yeah, so I think she was 4th or 5th after the short program, and I was actually a little bit surprised because she was one of a very select few ladies who was going for the triple-triple, and from what I saw, it was triple sow, triple toe, so not the most technically difficult, but who's going to knock a triple-triple in the Canadian ladies field, really? No. And from what I could see, it was relatively clean. I mean, the only error I saw in that short program was if you saw her triple flip, it was on quite a lean, so maybe that was a little under-rotated. But for her to get ranked lower than, Larkyn and Veronik, I thought was a little bit peculiar because she had much higher technical content. So I don't know if that was, fair.
Yeah, that was interesting. But hey, she's going to Junior Worlds, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I really like her, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more from her in the future. She already has the triple-triple. I think she has the Lutz. I'm pretty sure. Did she go for it in the free?
I believe she did.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can only imagine, in a couple of years, she's at the cricket club. We'll be seeing a lot more from her.
That's right. Sorry, I'm just looking at the protocols. I just want to make sure I get it right. So it looks like, you're right. Short program was triple sow, triple toe, and then triple flip.
Yeah.
Which did get some low grade of execution marks. And then, let's see here for the free program. Aha. Oh, so she popped the Lutz. But hey, she went for it.
She went for it. That's all we're looking for here.
Awesome. Are you ready to move on to the men's?
Yes. Sure.
I'm so happy. My personal favorite, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't think this would happen because Keegan has been on the rise and Steven also, but Nam, my personal favorite, was able to deliver. And I knew he would, but his quads were clean, or they were called clean. Yep. You can have your own opinion about that. They were landed, and they were good. And I think him being on with the jumps, like we said about Alaine Chartrand at the beginning of this video, really brings the rest of his programs, both the short and long, to life.
Mm-hmm. And unlike Alaine, I find with Nam, he's just a natural performer. So when the jumps are on, he can really tap into that. And I mean, incredible for him. 2 clean skates, and he earned the 2nd national title. I also read an interesting story on Nam's arrival to the nationals.
Yeah.
Something very like cattywampus went on with his flights, and he got like a ride with skating fans. So that was interesting.
Through a windstorm.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm surprised skaters sometimes take connecting flights. Like, what if you lose your skates? Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I also read that Megan Duhamel, or I saw someone say Megan Duhamel lost her luggage as well. So, I mean, there was a lot going on with flights.
That is insane. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anything else I want to say about Nam? I will say this overall about the Canadian men. They made it exciting because a lot of them were doing quads, and a lot of them were landing them really well.
Mm-hmm. No, that was super exciting. And to see Nam land those 2, I think he just goes for the 2 in the toe and the sow he goes for. And what's going to take him to the next level, that's good for now, is he's going to need a quad loop flipper Lutz. I mean, I think it's a necessity at this point in time. But for now, no complaints. Great skate.
Yeah. Go to 4 continents and worlds. He's been named to the world team and qualify for the long program.
Yes. I think he can.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how great Steven was?
Yeah. So Steven was one of my picks to rival the favorite Keegan for the title. And he was leading, granted very slim after the short program, but he was leading. And had he landed that quad Lutz in the free, I think he would have won. Still bothers me that they sent him out in the free with a thumbprint on his shirt, but he's a junior. So, you can't harp on him too much. It's not his fault.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he popped the opening Lutz to a double. And I'm not going to lie, I thought the rest of the program was going to be like a splat fest after that. And it wasn't. He held it together for the most part.
No, he was pretty well clean. I think he was like bouncing around on one of his triple toe loops on one of those combinations. I can't remember which one. But that was it, really, other than the pop Lutz. So he did hold it together. So I think that just shows like his mental strength. And you can see after the end of his programs, he's thinking in his mind, he's calculating, he knows what he did wrong, and he wants to improve on it right away. He's very, very strong-willed.
And I know a lot of people are going to say that Steven Gogolev is juniorish on the ice, which isn't, a bad thing to say. Yeah, no. He's a young skater.
Yeah.
But I'd say for his age, he's right where he needs to be. There's I don't want to say maturity, but he carries himself well for the state that he's in. And I was just surprised, he wasn't slow. He was really attacking those jumps, paying attention to the choreography.
Yeah, and I think he was the only one going for the quad Lutz in the field. And, of course, he's just coming off the win at the Junior Grand Prix final. So he has the momentum, and I really think he could be, he was named to the Junior World Team. I hope he wins. He could.
I was thinking about this, but, he was an alternate for the Junior Grand Prix final. What if he never competed there?
Mm-hmm. Who was second there? Do you remember?
Oh, is it an American?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, what is his name? I know exactly who it... Oh, no, but yeah, he just is not on the same level as Conrad anyway. So...
Yeah, and Steven and Allison Schumacher, who we mentioned briefly not too long ago, are coached by Lee Barkel. So they are in good hands for the future.
Oh, yes. And you know that when they train at the cricket club, Canada sees something in them. So
you are the chosen one if you go there.
That's right.
And then Keegan Messing, unfortunate situation that he did not win. It was still a joy to see him, and it was great to see his camaraderie with Nam. Like, those hugs on the ice were everything to me.
Yeah, you very rarely see that in skating because everyone is so focused on, putting out their best performance, as they should be, but it is always a breath of fresh air when you see such camaraderie. And unfortunately with Keegan, he seems to be a little bit on a downward spiral, because he started his season at a high. I think it was Skate Canada, especially in that short program. He scored over 95 points. That's absolutely huge. Of qualified for the Grand Prix final. I think he was alternate, but he got there nonetheless. But it wasn't his best showing at the final either. And then an even worse showing here at National. So I hope he can bring it back because he was also named to the World and Four Continents team. Rightfully so, because he still managed to win the bronze medal here. And one of the best performers and has the best spins, I think, in the men's field.
Oh, yeah. And you bring up a good point. I think he just hasn't lived up to the competition he had at Skate Canada this season. As we saw with NHK Trophy, he missed the podium there. And a lot of us were hoping that he would win a medal. And yeah, hopefully there's a new start to his skating for the second half of the season. Because I'd really like to see him go back out there, land those big jumps, which we know that he can. I think his issue at Nationals was that he was just really excited. Like, everything looked a little quick. I mean, he's a fast skater, but, you know, it almost looks like he was too excited to launch himself in the jumps.
No, I think that's exactly what it was. He's almost too fast, if that's possible. And when the timing is not there with the jumps, they just go completely awry. So I hope that, you know, in the few weeks he has for Four Continents, he can, you know, kind of calm himself down and just try to rely on that technique that he has.
Yeah, oh my gosh. What would Skate Canada do if Steven Gogolev was of age to be at Worlds?
Send him. I mean, he won the silver medal, so I mean, rightfully so. Oh, but then it would be tough because how do you not send the skater who represented your country at the Grand Prix final? So then
how do you not send the national champion?
Yeah, exactly. So that would have been interesting. How old is Steven? Is he 13 or 14?
One of the two. I keep going back to yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're eligible to compete senior when you're 15. So if he's 14, then maybe we could be seeing him next year.
Mm-hmm. You never know. But Skate Canada is pretty good about going off actual results. You know, they have less controversial decisions as the United States does.
I agree, except in the certain scenarios when they send or potentially are looking to send a junior skater to Senior Worlds, which bothers me deeply. But yeah, but she had the results. So
yeah, I'm sorry you're still hurting with that.
Oh, I am.
And then fourth place, Joseph Phan.
Yeah.
Wow, that free program. Don't look at the short. That wasn't as impressive. The free program opened with quad toe, then triple axel, then quad toe in combination. That was just amazing. And he was on his feet for the rest of the program. Last jump, I believe it was the loop. Nam also had his last jump be a loop. That was, they had to irk it out. If only they had, 30 more seconds in a program to breathe between the elements, that would be great. But that's another discussion. But he was good. He was really fast. And I really liked that he was performing. I think that where he needs to improve on is transitions and more choreography, but otherwise the jumps were on.
And I think he's only 17, so like that'll come with time. And this was the first time like I really watched in depth his programs, and I was really impressed. He very much so, like Nam and Keegan, have a natural performer inside them. So you know, he's going to be very exciting to watch. And I was really excited to see that he was named to the Junior World team because I'm pretty sure, like, the favorite for that second spot, of course, Steven was going to be named. But I think it really was Conrad Orzel because he had some really impressive finishings at the Junior Grand Prix this year. So it was really those two that were battling out. And I'm sure you're happy to see that Joseph was on the upside of that.
Yay, yes, I've spoken about Joseph before on my channel a few years ago, so it's great to see him. Do you want to talk about Conrad? Because I actually didn't see his performances.
Yeah, so I saw both. It was actually very difficult, I found, to watch some of the programs. Even as a Canadian skating fan, like you could go on the Skate Canada website and they would live stream like the early flights, but then you'd have to be subscribed to TSN to watch the later flights. Always so difficult to watch skating. Anyway, that was a little tangent. But yeah, I saw Conrad's both of his programs. He skates the short program to Shawn Mendes, which I absolutely love. I think it really suits him, and he really performs that well. So you can tell he probably had a hand in choosing that music. And he was relatively clean in the short program. he was right there. I think he was like fourth or fifth after the short program, so he could have gotten on the podium from where he was. He was in the 80s or thereabout, I think, in the short program, but it just kind of fell apart in the free.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, you know who brought it in the free was Nicholas Nadeau, who ended up in
Yes.
sixth overall. Man, that short program was rough.
Uh-huh. And the free, I think I mentioned in our last video, I wasn't my favorite, but I actually like it a little more here, only because it seems like he likes it. It wouldn't be the music I would choose, but it does seem like he, likes it, and it's choreographed by Shaylin Bourne, so obviously it has great, body movement and a choreographic sequence to it. So I'm excited to see that he was named to Four Continents, I believe.
Hmm.
Not excited that Roman couldn't have gotten one ahead of him because he is my favorite, but
Oh yeah, so Nicholas Nadeau, I
hmm
like that long program, but I know some people who love it mainly because of the music choice. I'm like, hey, to each their own. But it
for
sounds
sure.
like Nicholas likes it, so I
Yep.
support him in that. I'm glad he was able to land most of his jumps. Didn't see a quad attempted, but that's okay. Maybe it's better to go clean.
Didn't he attempt a quad in the free?
Did he? Oh, let's fact check myself.
Okay, you could be right. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like I'm always really impressed with quads, and
Yeah.
I don't remember
Okay.
jumping up for joy with him.
He may have. I don't know if he landed it, but I thought he went for one. Who knows?
And we're back. Technology is difficult sometimes.
Yes.
But Nolan, I remember we left off talking
Yeah.
about Nicholas Nadeau, and you were right. He went for the quad toe, just
Okay.
did not land it well, so I was
No.
not impressed.
Okay. Exactly.
But yeah, go on and discuss your favorite Roman Sadovsky.
Yes. So I was just really impressed with how many quads he was going for in this competition. I believe he went for the most quads of anyone in the men's field here. And it wasn't the quads that let him down either. He landed most
No.
of them quite well. I think there was like one he had a hand down, but that was it. The big thing that let him down here was his triple axel. That is just not a consistent jump for him. But of course, as we all know, to be a competitive male figure skater, you need the triple axel. So I really hope he can get that under control, because otherwise, I think there's no reason why he can't be one of the top men in Canada for sure. I mean, he has an amazing performance quality as well as the difficult jumps. So I think it's just consistency is the key.
Yeah, well, he could pull a Nathan Chen and do
hmm
all these quads and just go for the double axles.
Yeah, but I guess so. Yeah, because he does have a great performance quality, even better than Nathan.
Yeah. No comment, but yes. But yeah, and what's tough to see about Roman and the triple axel is that it
hmm
actually looks really close.
Oh
Like
yeah.
good height, distance, even
hmm
rotation. So it's something about sticking the landing.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a comfortable entry for him. It's just, everyone has their comfortable and least comfortable jump. So I think for him, it's the axle. It sucks because when he does land it, and he does, from time to time, it's really beautiful, like most
Hmm.
of his jumps. So I think it's just consistency he needs.
Yeah, I think he also has amazing spins. They're kind of
Oh,
up there
yes.
with Keegan's spins.
I agree. Beautiful spins, beautiful footwork, high difficulty jumps, and beautiful jumps. They're not, sloppy quads that people barely have. Like
Yeah.
they're actually ones that, he can execute well. So I hope to see a lot more from him.
Me too, especially because he has great music choice from one
Oh,
season to
yes.
the next.
Mm.
So,
David Wilson, I tell
yes.
you.
Was there any other men you wanted to discuss?
Um, no, those were the top seven, weren't they? Yeah, those
Yeah.
were the
Hmm.
the main ones.
Excellent. So next we have pairs, to no surprise, Kirsten Moore Towers and Michael Maranaro
Yep.
win the title. Second Canadian title for Kirsten, first
Yep.
time with this partnership.
hmm Great for them. Of course, I mean, they were the clear favorites coming into this. When their short program scores came up on the screen, I was a little surprised that it was just, fractionally better than their season's best this season, but it came to light that it was an error on their final spin or something. So
Hmm.
makes sense now. But two beautifully clean programs, more or less, and great performances. I love that free skate, that Pink Floyd. I think it's
Oh,
great. I know. I know.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
I will say, even though it's great that they won the title, I
Hmm.
actually think it's great that Evelyn and Trennt kept them on
Hmm.
their toes because Evelyn and Trennt were on their game technically.
Yeah. If any of you watching remember from the first video, I was not familiar with the other Canadian peers, but I watched them here and I was extremely impressed. I learned that Trennt was Kaitlyn Austman's boyfriend,
Hmm.
and I thought that it was incredible, like their performance quality, and you can tell that they're really being groomed to be the next big thing in Canada, and super, super clean. I even think a lot of their elements were cleaner and of better quality than Kirsten and Michaud, just my opinion.
Hmm.
Not at the same difficulty level, not yet, but very, very clean and beautiful costumes. I loved both programs.
Yeah, and I'm
Hmm.
not sure if you know, but they're a relatively new pair.
Yeah, okay. Hmm.
Yeah,
I have like seen their name on the roster this season, but not before now.
yeah. So Evelyn used to compete in singles, and then yeah, they brought their best performances at nationals.
Oh,
They
yes.
didn't do as well at Skate America or Skate Canada, but I knew they had it in them. They have a special it factor about them. Like there's a spunk to them that's very different from the other Canadian pairs actually. So
Yeah, totally different.
I actually think their short program I call that electrifying.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And their free is to Romeo and Juliet, I think. And it was one of my, like, one of the Romeo and Juliet programs that I prefer. And obviously, I don't think anyone is the biggest fan of how many Romeo and Juliet programs there are. But I thought they did it really well and beautiful costumes.
Yes, as an American, I am jealous that Canadians know how to land their side by side jumps.
I know.
I don't know what the secret is up north.
I know. And I was so impressed to see that perfectly in sync, the three jump combination that they did in the free. Really impressive.
That's hard to
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
And I think I was going to mention something just because I like looking at the protocols. I don't think I
Yep.
need to look at them. But I think in the free skate, Evelyn and Trennt were just a point or two technically behind Kirsten and Michael. So that means in terms of the elements of what they're doing, it's very much
Yep.
on the same level. It's just a program component marks where, they just need some time to gel together.
Yep. Like you said, they're a young team, and I can tell that they're being groomed to become a rival to Kirsten and Michael. So I'm really excited to see where that leads us.
Me
Mhm.
too. Did you catch Camille Ruest and Drew Wolf?
I did.
What do you
Uh,
think?
Well, I watched those two because I had never watched them before, and the Cami and what was the
Drew?
and Drew were my least favorite of the two newer teams
Mm.
because they just weren't as eye-catching to me. They were, dare I say, a little bit boring to watch.
Uh-huh.
And I did see their free. It was not their best. It was, pretty rough.
Their jumps. Ooh, man.
Yeah.
And not only that, they had a fall towards the end of the
Hmm.
program. Man, falls are scary in pairs, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
But no one hit their head. They got right back up. No serious injury. That was good. I will say, I actually enjoy Cammy and Drew.
Okay.
That being said, I think I do like softer romantic pieces, even if others may call them boring. But I think that they have a really good connection with each other, and that's what I like.
Yeah. Hmm. And I don't think they're as new a team as Evelyn and Trennt. So you can tell that they've been together for quite some time. But to me, it just they didn't quite have that star quality. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe they will in the future. What were
Yeah.
some other pairs that you saw?
I'm not gonna lie, I only watched the podium.
Oh, me too. So
Okay.
I'm looking at the scores, and it looks like Lorianne and Theory were not too far off the podium. So if
Right.
anyone really loves them and is watching this and are offended, leave it in the comments and let me know how they did.
Yeah, because I remember that Wolf and Rue were a little behind a couple teams in the free because of how rough it was, of course. Mhm.
Okay, now time for dance, which I think was really exciting
Yes.
to actually all of the figure skating fans across the world. They were paying attention to what the judges would do, obviously
Hmm.
between Piper Paul and Kaitlyn and Andrew. And how did it go about? Weaver and Poje had the lead after the rhythm dance. Piper
Yep.
and Paul won the free dance, but still was second overall.
Hmm. And I'm definitely very opinionated on this.
Please state them
Yes.
all.
So I guess starting with Kaitlyn and Andrew, I thought that their short program, see, I had seen this live because they did it at the Thank You Canada tour all throughout. So when people were saying, oh, I don't know how they're going to perform here, they haven't been training, they have. They have done these programs every single show in every single performance of the Thank You Canada tour. So I had watched it live and I was just taken aback. They got a standing ovation when I saw it, and they did here as well, rightfully so. It was one of my favorite short dances that I saw all season. I thought it was a dance. It was hot. Mhm.
May I let you know that I think it's called rhythm dance?
Oh,
I
right.
don't. I'm
They changed
still,
that.
yeah, right. But yeah, so did they perform it with the same level of difficulty on tour?
Um, I think more or less, like I remember seeing that they did a twizzle sequence and everything. So I mean, they were really going for it. I'm sure, like it wasn't exactly like at this level, but the performance quality was there, and it was the same dress that I saw and fell in love with at the Thank You Canada tour. So I was happy that it was still the same one, and I just thought it was great. I think they were rightfully in the lead after the short pro. Oh, the rhythm dance.
The rhythm dance. Yeah, what did you
Yeah.
think of Piper and Paul?
So they were my favorites between the two in the free dance. I think that that is world class, that
Mhm.
free dance. And we saw some big scores given out to that at the Golden Spin of Zagreb, which I think that they won. Or, yeah, I think they won with
Mhm.
some huge scores, rightfully so. And I think it's a really cool what Piper has done with her dress because, of course, they're skating to Starry, Starry Night. And her top of her dress, the the stitching is of Vincent van Gogh's painting Starry Starry
That's
Night.
right. That's
So
right.
I thought that was very clever, and I think, as always, they have some really creative features. Like right in the beginning, even when Paul pulls Piper like up over his shoulders, I think that is just stunning. It was my favorite free dance. I think the two should have been a bit bigger of a gap because Kaitlyn and Andrew's free dance is not my favorite. I think it's a beautiful tribute to Dennis Tan because, of course, that
Yeah.
is why they're doing that selection, and it's great that they're doing that. It just didn't captivate me in the same way that Piper and Paul's did, because I think it's just because it's so something so new and fresh from Piper and Paul.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm
But
glad you said all that you did because I have no opinion. I watched
okay,
all of it, but I was like, I'm glad I'm not a judge. This coming from someone who doesn't know ice dance really well. I'm like, I would give them a tie if I could, but they were both just
yeah,
really good. If I
they
were to
were.
analyze the protocols, at least with the free dance, it sounds
Hmm.
like Piper and Paul had the edge technically, and
Yeah,
Andrew and Kaitlyn had the edge in terms of performance quality.
which I don't
According to the
100%.
judges, yes.
Yes, which is true with the judges, but I don't really agree because I just think that that free dance by Piper and Paul is just something so special. But I'm
That's one of
not a
my
fan.
favorites.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of the rhythm dance, so I was happy to see that that wasn't really rewarded as much because it's just kind of blah to me.
Mhm. Oh, I will say, I do have this opinion. I
Hmm.
don't like a lot of the rhythm dances this season just because
Me
the
neither.
Tango Romantica, I mean, that's not my thing.
Hmm.
My thing was the hip hop, the Latin, but it's okay. You know, things change every season. I will
Yeah.
say I thoroughly enjoyed Caitlin and Andrew's rhythm dance. That's
Me
coming from
too.
someone who doesn't like a lot of them. And then also, I'd say the only thing that I could think of for the free dance was that it looked like Caitlyn was floating, like so light
Yeah.
but powerful.
Hmm. One thing I've really noticed about the return is there don't seem any further behind. I mean, obviously they're coming off like the world bronze medal win, so like they had that added pressure. But I think that they look just as good, if not better, than when they left. I think they have a really great flow across the ice in both programs, even though again the free dance isn't my favorite. But I think technically they look just as good. Hmm.
Great. Did you watch any of the other ice dancers? Because I did not.
Hmm. Okay, Justin, I told you to watch.
You
Uh,
did. You did.
yeah. My favorites, Fournier, Baudry, and Nicolas Sorensen, are my new favorites. They represented Denmark for a number
That's
of years.
right.
Yes, but due to a citizenship issue, they will now be representing Canada, at least for the short term. I've read like contradictory things there on what's going to happen because I've heard someone say that they will now be representing Canada indefinitely, but I've heard someone else say that Nicola would like to represent Denmark. So we'll see what happens there. But one thing is for sure, they were named to the World and Four Continents team. They won the bronze medal here, so we'll be seeing them represent Canada. And I love their free dance. It is my personal favorite that we saw here.
Oh, I need to watch it then.
Yes, you do. I just love the way that Laurence holds her dress, and they do like this thing. It's called an on-ice sequence, where they like slide across the ice and do like different dance moves. And I just think it was so well choreographed. Not a big fan of the rhythm dance, but the free dance was world class, I think.
Great. Now, we had mentioned we had talked offline in our last video, we forgot to talk about
Yep.
Shane Fierce and Caroline.
How could we do that?
I know. Oops.
Yeah,
Did you see how they
not
did
bad.
here?
I did. It was very disappointing for me to see them fifth instead of perhaps their predicted fourth or even third. But it was because of several errors in their free dance. They even had a fall.
Oh.
And as we know, in ice dance, that really affects things. So it was really unfortunate to see. They actually went back to their free dance from last season because they just haven't been getting like the scores that they wanted to see internationally. And I really like that free dance. So I was happy to see it, brought back again. And it was performed to the same caliber, but technically it just wasn't there. And I've noticed in the past few times I've seen them, it is Caroline that makes the mistakes. I know. So Liam, who is brothers with Shane Fierce, he's doing his job technically, but she stumbled on the twizzles here, and she was the root of that fall. So Caroline, you need to get on it. You look like a star on the ice. You need to perform it. You can do it.
You need to walk the walk. You just can't look the part.
Exactly. But I think and their short dance, their rhythm dance is great as well. I think you'd really enjoy that one.
Okay. I will let you know what I think when I catch up.
Yes.
We did skip over the fourth place finishers here. How did they do?
I only skipped over because I didn't exactly see them.
Okay, so that's okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, we did it after some technical issues.
Yes.
Nolan, I'm so happy you're able to join me on these calls. And for all the viewers, if you don't know, I'm from Seattle and Nolan's from Newfoundland, which is a 4.5 hour time difference. So we're like really on opposite sides of the continent.
Yeah, we're lucky we're able to coordinate these things.
I know, but it's great to think about how the sport of figure skating can bring so many of us together. So I'm glad to have you as a friend and as a multi-time guest on my show.
For sure.
All right, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll talk to you later, Nolan.
Bye, guys.
Hey, bye. We did.